Step onto the playground, feel the energy. Where voice.
All right, welcome to the podcast playground where podcasters come to play. Today, my guest is no other than Harry Williams. Telling y'all, before I even introduce it, y'all sleeping on what he can do. And what's to come is going to be magic too. Welcome, Harry.
Welcome, my brother. Well, hey, man. Happy to be here, my brother.
Man, welcome
Happy
to the
be here,
playground.
Man. Thank you, man.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Whoa. Who is Harry?
Who is? You just told him.
Yeah, I told him. Look, I gave him a dream.
You gave him a dream.
I gave him a dream. You're going to give him the autobiography.
Hey, my name is Harry Williams. I'm actually born and raised here in Jacksonville, Florida, on the east side of town, not formally known as out east. Out east. I'm the youngest of seven. I was a twin. My twin passed away at 15 years old. Been married now for 23 years. Have 4 kids. Miles, Hope, Zion, and Brittany. Married to my wife, Carmen, 23 years, man. Yeah. Went to school here. After I got out of high school, I ended up becoming a merchant seaman. I was a merchant seaman for 10 years. Also, I was a firefighter as well for 2 years.
So you went from the water
to
the water hose.
From the water to the water hose. Yeah. And really, the firefighter thing, man, when I was coming out of high school, they was hiring firemen. There was a push to hire a lot of black firemen in the city of Jacksonville. And so I went to firefighter school. And during that time, man, I was hanging out. Man, I'm talking about going to school, tired, all that, and I end up failing out of the firefighter class, man. And so when I became a merchant seaman, it was always on my mind, like, man, you failed, you big dummy, you failed. So I ended up going back. Not that I just wanted to be a firefighter so much.
You just wanted to pass. You knew because you knew you could do it.
I knew I can do it, man. And so I went back and I became a firefighter. Yeah, man. And I lived here for a little while. Then I ended up leaving, going to Atlanta. So I stayed in Atlanta, Georgia for about close to 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Graduated from Andrew Jackson. Got to get Andrew Jackson. 88, the Tigers, Main Street. Yeah. I went to Reebok and I went to Jackson, but I graduated from Jackson. I had to. I got in trouble, so I had to transfer.
Paxson.
Paxson, yeah.
All the way through.
You know what I'm saying? Not the new Paxson.
No. Not the new softer, gentler Paxson.
Yeah. Or the egghead.
Yeah.
That ain't bad though.
It's not. It's not my era. Oh man.
Yeah.
So I know that you're super creative.
Yeah.
What kind of
God be the glory.
What kind of took you down that path of like writing a book? Because you wrote a book.
Yeah, 2. I wrote 2 books, Blessed, and I wrote Blessed 2. And it actually all started from when I was in Atlanta. It was an older lady that was part of my ministry. It actually was my pastor's mother-in-law, Miss Betty, and she had been doing commercials, film, all of this stuff, and she happened to just come up to me one day and asked me, have I ever thought about doing film? And I said, no, Miss Betty, I ain't never thought about doing film. And so she told me that it was the Fighting Temptations, Beyonce and Cuba Gooding movie. Fighting Temptations was coming out and they were trying to get extras from the movie. And so she asked me to go and interview, do a headshot, all of that stuff. So I did it. You got to listen to your elders.
Yeah, you just look. You can't say I ain't trying.
Yeah. So I did it, and I ended up getting selected to be in the movie, and so that's where it all got started, man. And from there, I was it's a movie called The Clearing with Robert Redford. I was in that movie as well, and so that's where it all started, man. You
was hooked then.
Yeah, I was hooked, man. I just thought, just being around that stuff, man, it was hard. It was hard to, to be around that stuff and not get, get hooked to it. So, the cameras, people going around, so all of that stuff. So I started writing and not really knowing what I was writing. I started writing, and just kept writing, getting more and more serious about it. I remember writing about 4 pages on a legal pad, and I was working at this time. I was working part-time at the Hartsfield Airport in Atlanta, and I had written about 4 pages. And one night we were waiting for a plane to come in, and the Spirit said, "Read it to these guys." And I'm like, "Read it to them?" So I ended up reading it to the guys, and after I finished, they said, "Hey, wait, you done?" And I said, "That's all I got." You know what I mean?
He was like,
they want to jump on me. They're like, "This is it? That's you gonna tease?" Yeah, exactly. And so when I saw how interested they were in the writing, it made me get more and more serious about it. So I ended up purchasing a laptop. And I still didn't, and I'm still writing, and I still didn't know like what this is gonna be. You know what I mean? And then once I start seeing it, I said, "Oh, this is gonna be a film. It's gonna be a film." You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what time it was, and God just kept confirming that through other people. I met a young lady at the coffee shop, and the Lord did the same thing to me again. Read it to her, and I was like, I don't feel like bothering this lady. This lady don't look like she don't want to be bothered. And so I asked her, I said, "Hey, ma'am, can I read something to you?" She said, "Of course." And I read it to her, and she asked me what my name was, and she said, "I'm gonna hear about you one day." And of course, that blew my head up. Like, "You gonna hear about me one day?"
He's like, yeah.
I started writing.
He's like, Fight and Temptation.
Yeah. So I started, getting more and more serious. And once it started coming together, and I saw that it was going to be a film, God started giving me favor with different people. Man, I had a soundtrack that I made for the film. Man, God had put in my heart to use people that was that wanted to be in the industry, but they couldn't break into the industry, but they were just as good as the people that was in the industry. And so, man, I ended up meeting a guy that had a recording studio, and he told me he only charged, I believe it's maybe $2,800, $3,800 for unlimited studio time. He said the only thing is you can't tell them, can't tell the artists. He said, because if you tell the artists, they're gonna come in here, they're gonna play around, you know what I mean? But you can't tell them that they got unlimited studio time. So when we went in, man, I think we made maybe about 17 songs that all of these artists had donated to the film. And basically, no money, they didn't want any money because they was trying to get out there themselves.
Yeah, they just want to be known.
They just want to be known. And so so we wrote up contracts for them. And what we agreed upon was if it ever got a deal and there was money to be made, that I would come back and compensate them.
Right, for the art.
That's right, man. And so that's how we started getting serious.
That's bold. That's bold and noble.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you think about the flip side of that, you could have just took to the music from them.
Yeah.
And told them thank you. And if it, like you said, if it goes big,
yeah,
now you're like, hey, you're on TV.
Yeah.
You're in the theater.
Yeah.
So that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah. Because I really had to, I had to, I had all the rights to everything, and I could have very well did it because they were actually donating it to to the movie, in hopes that one day somebody gonna hear about them. When I tell you, and I'm gonna let you listen to the soundtrack, man. When I tell you, you would think that all of these individuals were signed.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's just how good they were.
I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you listen to it.
I mean, I like all genres.
Yeah, and that's one of the things.
I can't do heavy metal. But
you can't do it. There's no heavy metal.
I can do the rest.
Okay.
Can't do grunge and the heavy metal, but I can kind of go with a little R&B.
Yeah, you got to mix all that.
A little jazz, a little gospel, a little country, classical. I can kind of run and tiptoe through each one of those little ranges.
Oh yeah, well you'll enjoy this then.
Not one sided or non-multifaceted.
Yeah.
That's pretty boss.
Yeah, man. So I was excited about that. You know what I mean?
I would be too.
Yeah, and so that just kept the juices flowing, man. And so really, man, I'm a more creator. I have a ton of stuff that I've been creating, man. Over I've been back in Jacksonville 18 years now. I've been creating least about 20 years.
Oh wow, that's
So I got a ton of stuff, man.
that's amazing. Shoot. I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So, where do you see yourself kind of going now with your art?
Well, my you know, my ministry, I call this a part of my ministry, you know, is I want to do film on a larger scale. You know what I mean? I believe that that's the next phase of an extension of my ministry, what I do now. And I think that film, because I know where people won't come into those doors, right? They'll go watch a film.
Oh, all day.
Right. And so I believe in, you know, giving them a message, right, to the film. And so when I write, I mainly write based on my experiences, right? My book, if you read my first book, and I don't want to give it away, but, you know, in Bless One, you know, the book that I wrote, it's a little bit of me in every character.
I'm telling you on that. I don't have the book, okay? But if I had the book, you would see the book on this table, and I'd be telling you, there's 2 of them.
All right, I got
that you need to go out there and get them. And I'm trying to say that they're on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles without saying they're on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
They are.
So I'm just saying you need to go on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah, they are.
But I'm not going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you, okay? They're not here yet.
Not yet. I'll make sure you.
If they were here,
yeah,
they're here metaphorically.
Yeah, they're here. They are.
So go get them.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And they are. As a matter of fact, Blessed 2 was it was a top seller for 2 weeks, I believe. Oh, wow. At Barnes and Nobles in the town center.
Oh, yeah, man, congratulations.
Top selling book for 2 weeks there.
That's work.
Yeah, man. So I'm grateful for that, you know. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. And you know, unfortunately, I don't do a lot of and you know, I had a friend to tell me this. He said, "Man, you don't do a lot of promoting as much as you should, based on all the stuff that you've done."
Fall by your. Unfortunately, when you're creative,
you
go by your feeling, and not the financing. The financing part tell you, hey, you need to get out here, you need to advertise, you need to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But the creative part of you is like, I'm gonna make this book, I'm gonna write this script.
Yeah.
We're gonna execute this movie. And when the movie's done, you're like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah. And that's because that you know, although I write, I put stuff out, and I do want people to enjoy it, because ultimately, you know, I'm a man of faith, so I want people to be drawn in. You know what I mean? I want people to know, you know, that no matter what they're going through, that God loves them. You know what I mean? But I write in practical ways that people can understand, right? And they can relate to. You know what I mean? And so they're not necessarily up under the umbrella of faith-based, right? Because I don't write for believers. I write for non-believers.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're already
believers, that's right. You know what I mean? So I write, now believers can enjoy it, and they're going to be able to relate to it. You know what I mean? But I write from, you know, my experiences, you know, and so I create a lot of stuff, and, you know, once I create and I do it, I move on, because I got so much stuff that I got to get off my, you know what I mean? So I don't have time to, you know, go back, and I don't have time, but I'm believing that I have a team one day that'll be able to do the stuff that I don't do as well. Yeah. So I'm believing in that. And I've been praying for it, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
like I
send me
said
these
before,
people.
Watching, you know, you done wrote books, you produced a movie already.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So you're not new to this 360.
Yeah.
But you are.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because now all they got to do is get the book, look for the movie. And like you said, you got a vault of movies.
Yeah, got a vault, man.
Oh, not movies. My bad, scripts.
Yeah.
Got a vault of scripts.
That's right.
So you're a Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
You can write, you can produce, and you can pray it up. You're a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, so I, you know, even with the movie that we did, I didn't do the team that I worked with out of Sanford. You know, I actually just I actually just ran up on those guys. I wanted to shoot that film here in Jacksonville.
Right.
You're from Jacksonville. You want to
wanna
do
do it
everything
here.
where you're from. You know what I mean? And it just wasn't working, man. I did a casting call. We had practice. Guys didn't know their lines. The women knew their lines. Guys didn't know their lines. I'm like, man, I'm trying to put a mess. I'm trying to send a message here. You just can't. Some things you may be able to ad lib, but not on this.
You can't ad lib everything.
It's a message I'm trying to get out with this, and so I'm like, man. And the guys that had the first guys I was working with in Jacksonville, they had done some stuff for me, and as soon as we finished that stuff, they had things wasn't working for them here, so they moved to Atlanta. As soon as they get to Atlanta, they blew up. I mean, they did Fast and Furious 6.
Oh, darn.
They was on that project, and so when I wanted to shoot the film, now they done blew up now. So
Yeah, the cost is drastically high now.
So when I called them, they like, well, we want to come help you. So we finally got to a number that I was comfortable with. You know what I mean? And it was almost like during COVID as well. So they was already a little reluctant,
because of
coming here, And so once that fell through, I happened to be having a conversation with some guys out of Orlando that went to Full Sail, and they ended up talking to me about doing a short film. And I say, well, explain to me, like, what's a short film? So they started talking about a short film. We agreed with a number, and they basically say, hey, you pay us this, you shoot the film. It'll be cheaper if you shoot the film in Sanford. And if you come with your money, I'll pay for everything. I say, what's everything? I say, everything. Your money will pay for the actors. We feed them. All I had to do was actually show up on the set
and direct.
And exactly, to get involved. I had a director, I had a producer, I had all of that. They basically said, hey, listen, cause I expressed to them that I want to learn the industry, right? I'm not interested in you just, making a film for me.
Then you walking away.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing.
Yeah. So they told me, hey, if you come on set, if you see something that because this basically my life, you know what I mean? And so, so they gave me the leeway to be able to come on set. If I saw something I didn't, like or whatever, I was able to, and next thing I know, we had a film. They put it in the film. We put it in some film festivals, and like I said, I don't do a whole lot of promoting of myself as much as I should, right? And they put it in because they was actually the ones that started putting it in film festivals, and it got selected in the Santa Clarita Film Festival in California. And I flew out. Thank you, I appreciate that. And so I flew out, man, that weekend, and I had a blast, man. I just went out there by myself. Just walking around, seeing how it was done, you know what I mean, looking at it, and it was just good to see the film.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you put work in to get to that far.
Yeah, man.
Man, congratulations.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
Do you have any projects coming up?
Yeah. So we're working on a documentary called The Reggie Dixon Story, and so
Reggie Dixon Story.
Reggie Dixon Story.
Eyes open, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's a guy that was actually falsely. He was in prison for 13 years for a rape that he didn't, that he really didn't commit. And so I met him a few years ago when I was running a youth program, and a guy that I know that used to be his coach actually brought him to me, and we developed a relationship. And as I began to hear his story, I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? And so I was getting ready to shoot a film, but this actually jumped over that film. Yeah, so and right after that, we're gonna shoot a full-length film based on Blessed, the movie Blessed. So the movie that we did short, we're gonna do a film. yeah, we're gonna do a full-length film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah. So based on the short that we did, we're gonna make that same film. We're gonna make it a full-length.
Man, I seen that short.
Yeah, it's in the short.
So I know there are a bunch of people can't wait to see the full length. For the full run.
Yeah.
The short was good.
Yeah, and then that was I was going to be done with the short. The short was out there. Boom, it was done. We did a viewing at the Ritz Theater that went real well, and I was going to be done with that. And the guy that I know out of California, he actually did several films, maybe close to 100 films, and he we was having a conversation, and he knew about me doing this film. I got a film called 27. But anyway, he said no. He said respect. He said permission to speak freely. And I said, of course. And he said, I think that you really should make the short film out of feature film. And so I told him, hey, I'm gonna take his advice, and that's what we're gonna do.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't.
And I know, just like the documentary, there are going to be some great things on the horizon for you.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to have you back on the playground.
Yeah, man, love
play again, so we can talk about it. And by then we'll have the books.
Yeah, by then y'all have a
y'all gonna be done bought some already. So we gonna have some books here. So the people who seeing it for the second time, or the first time, or the third, I don't even care, whatever number works for you.
Yeah.
When you're seeing it then, you'll be purchasing it and letting us know what you think. All right.
And also, I'm gonna put the short on the YouTube, HLW2. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube page. You inspired me to do that.
Look, short coming out. I'm not saying that it might be on this screen here behind y'all. It's just like the book. It should be either way. Either way. Or both. I'm not even picky.
I got you.
So with that being said, man.
All right. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for coming
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, anytime. Do you want to tell these folks where they can find your social media?
Man, I am on YouTube. I'm HLW2. On Facebook, I'm Pastor Harry Williams. And that's it, man.
Okay, so y'all heard it. Pastor Williams. So with that being said, as always, thank y'all for watching us and hanging out with us on the playground. Nobody got dirty or sweaty this go round, but you never know. The playground keeps some interesting guests. So stay tuned. We out.